Okay, take two. I have a stand that's not leaning. I don't know how to edit the other video yet. You're gonna have to bear with me. Technology is not my thing. I've recruited for technical positions for a very long time. I've worked in software support. I just don't know how to do the editing and the creative and all those things. That's why I pay the big bucks to the programmers to do that kind of thing, not me. Anyhow, so welcome back. Okay, so tips and tricks part 2. My Instapot is working on my ranch chicken chili, which is going to be done in about probably more like 35-45 minutes. So in the meantime, I've got my imperfect produce delivery. This was my cilantro that I got 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. If any of you guys get cilantro, you know that cilantro does not stay well in your refrigerator. But what I do is I wash it immediately, and then I take a wet paper towel, and I wrap it around the especially the stems, but I usually wrap it around the whole thing just to keep it kind of a little fresh. And you'll see that it's almost 2 weeks old, and I wash it in vinegar too. So washing in vinegar is a natural preserver, so you don't have to worry about all the chemicals and things like that. But it's about, I usually use like, I don't know, half a cup of white vinegar to a whole sink of cold water, and then I throw all of my vegetables in it when I get it. So here's my cilantro. I have green onions too. I've got several very small avocados for my imperfect produce. So I'm going to chop these up. I'm going to make some garnishes to go along with my ranch chicken chili, and I'm going to make some guacamole. And I'm using our Wild Tree guacamole seasoning. It's really delicious. I grew up in Southern California. I love guacamole. I love making it easy, but this is like too simple, right? So it's got a bunch of dried ingredients like tomato, red bell pepper, onion, green bell pepper, sea salt, lemon juice, jalapeno, cumin, garlic, and coriander all in the jar. It's delicious. I have another helper who would like to cook with me. Go get your chair. Okay, go get your chair. So yeah, I've got my... You're gonna get a big chair this time? Why don't you use this chair over here? It'll be a lot easier. All right, so I've got my big-ish little pot here. I've got my little chef pulling up her chair. She's gonna help me. All I'm doing is getting my pits out. If you guys have not learned this trick about how to get a pit out of your avocado, the best way to get a pit out of the avocado is just to cut it in half, twist, and turn. Okay, we'll have to get another one. We'll get another one, baby. Just simply stab the pit, pull it out. That easy. Not a big deal. Not with a knife. You can't do sharp knife. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna let you do the avocado, okay? Okay, so all I'm gonna do is scoop all of my avocados in here. The recipe calls for 2 avocados. Since I've got little tiny ones, I'm gonna use 3.5. And I like guacamole, so whatever's left over will be for me. You're gonna mash it.
Mash it?
Yeah, you're gonna mash it for me. Okay. Did you wash your hands? Little chefs need to wash their hands. Go wash your hands. Go wash. That makes that easy, right? And then, so the recipe on the jar, I'm usually very heavy-handed with my seasoning. I don't always follow recipes, which is can be good and bad. But I think the recipe on the jar calls for, let's see, let's just read to make sure that I get this right. 2 avocados and 4.5 teaspoons of the guacamole season. I would probably use more like 2 tablespoons, and then a dash of lemon juice just to make sure that the guacamole doesn't brown before we get ready to eat. And that's it, guys. Green onions, cilantro, I'm gonna dice that up. I'm gonna have that as a side. I'm going to mix up my guacamole. And you washed your hands? Wow, okay. 1, Yeah, 2. And I'm gonna let my little sous chef mash. You wanna mash with this? Mm-hmm. Mash, mash. No. Like that. Okay. I'll get you a masher. And that's it. That's dinner. So I will pop back in and show you guys some photos, and you guys can comment. If you guys have questions, let me know, and I will unveil the Instapot too, so you guys can have a chance to see that. But again, if you have any dinner time dilemmas, always feel free to check in cookingwithyvonne.com. We'll talk to you later.